Hey guys, I'm Dr. Aaron Horschig, and today I'm going to show you my top 3 ankle mobility exercises.
Get up and get down, get up and get.
All right guys, so if you have been watching my content for a while now, you know that ankle mobility limitations are almost the #1 problem that hinders good squat technique. Now, if you want to get into a good deep squat, your knee has to move forward over your toe, and that needs or requires ankle mobility, the movement of this, your tibia going forward over your toe. So if you have limitations and you can only get that far, if you want to get into a deeper squat, what's going to happen? Your chest is going to fall forward. So let's talk about how to improve ankle mobility. The first thing is we have to figure out, is ankle mobility the limitation and what is causing you to have that problem? All you're going to do is get next to a wall or the end of the rig. Now, if you have a ruler, a yardstick, anything, you're going to look for 5 inches. If you don't have that, thumb plus a fist. Okay, that's going to be roughly 5 inches. From here, try to drive your knee directly over your second or third toe without your heel popping off the ground and see what happens. So as you can see, as I go forward, I can touch this area right here without my heel popping up. But for a number of you, you're only going to get to about here, and what's going to happen? Your heel's going to pop off the ground, or your knee's going to want to cave in order for you to hit that wall right there. So if you cannot get all the way to the wall without your heel popping off the ground, first thing, we just uncovered an ankle mobility limitation. Second thing I need you to do is to figure out what is actually causing that restriction. Do you have a pinch or blocked sensation in the front side of the ankle, and is there tightness in the back? Okay, those are the 2 things, because that's going to differentiate what we're going to do for fixes. So the first thing, a pinch or block sensation in the front side of the ankle is significant of a joint restriction. Basically, the way in which the bones in your ankle are moving over each other is not allowing your knee to translate over your toe. We need to clear up a joint restriction before we go to soft tissue work like stretching the muscles in the backside of the calf. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to use a band in order to do a joint mobilization. Now this is about 2.5 or 3 inch thick band from Rogue Fitness. I'll have a link to this type of band in the description of this video, but this is the type of band that you're going to want to use. It needs to be pretty thick. If it's too wide, you're not going to get the specific motion at the angle that we want in the desired force on the area. What you're going to do is you're going to get your foot up here. Now, if we took a screenshot and look deep inside your ankle, we are looking to have this band pulling down and back on your talus bone. That's the bone that sits right up here on the top of your foot. If you have this band up high, it will not be doing what we need it to do to improve ankle mobility. When you move your knee over your toe like this, your talus bone moves backwards. So if you have a limitation in the way those bones are moving and your talus bone isn't gliding backwards or posterior like it should, it's going to limit how far your knee can go over the toe. So what the band is doing is it's helping improve that natural gliding of the joint. Now, if you have had an ankle sprain in the past, this is a very common limitation that comes much further after. Even after the pain's gone, we often find that this is a limitation that occurs. So what you're going to do, band on top of the talus underneath the big ankle bones. That's how you know it's in the right spot. If there is enough tension on the band, then as well, when my knee goes over my toe like this, that should remove that pinch or block sensation in the front side of my ankle. Let's say I go forward like this and I'm still feeling it. Either the band's not in the right spot or there's not enough tension. Pull the band, get it a little bit tighter. Okay, sometimes you need a friend to help you with this, but get that knee and you're gonna drive it forward over the toe. And what we're doing is we're not holding this, but we're just gliding back and forth. This is called a mobilization with movement. Now, if you want to, if this is a little tough to just hold that position, you can grab a weight and hold it on top. Sometimes that can help some people feel a little bit more stable. But something like this, what I'm doing is maybe 20 reps, holding for about 3 seconds, and then back. Again, we're helping improve the motion of the bone, the talus bone, gliding backwards against the tibia bone, which is your tall shin bone right here, and back, improving the natural joint movement or kinematics of the ankle. So that's the first way to improve ankle mobility. Now, if that was right for you and you had that pinch sensation, always test and retest, see if that was right for your body and if you made any change. Get back down to the wall. Have your fist and thumb extended. Can you move that ankle a little bit more? Did it help decrease that pinch sensation right there? That is showing you that it was effective at improving the limitation that you have. Now, that we've cleared up our joint mobilization problem or a joint mobility problem, we now have to go to stretching the tissues on the back side of the body. So here are my next two favorite stretches for that. First one, we're just gonna find a bench. You could use a box. We're just gonna get up into this position and we're gonna drive that knee directly over the toe. And you're gonna hold this position. What I like doing is grabbing down on the box and using my chest to really pull down. You can, again, push down this way. If you want to, again, you could grab that weight, stacking on top. But I really like almost pulling my chest into this for a really good stretch. Now, when you're feeling the stretch, it's usually down in this area. It's your soleus muscle. There's two muscles of your lower leg. You have your gastroc, which is the big calf muscle, and your soleus. Now, here's the deal. Your gastroc muscle crosses two joints. Crosses the knee joint, and it crosses down here. When you bend your knee, you're taking a little slack off the gastroc up here. But the soleus muscle doesn't cross the knee joint. It originates up here and then attaches down here. So when you're driving your knee over your toe like this, we're getting a lot more stretch in the soleus muscle than we are the gastroc. So that's often a main limiting muscle in flexibility in limiting our depth whenever we're squatting. So again, something like this, we're holding and then back. Now, here's the deal. A lot of people have questions. How long do I stretch? It depends. Do we hold for long times? Do we hold for short times? It's going to depend on your individual needs. Some people need longer duration stretches, 30 seconds to even a minute, if they have very big limitations and restrictions in mobility. Now, here's the deal with that. With really long stretch times, like a full minute stretch, usually the body will have a decrease in strength and power that it can produce with those muscles directly after. So there's a decrease in performance with long duration stretches thereafter. Now, what that means is that if you're in competition mode right now and you have a really heavy training day, you're looking to perform. I probably don't want you to do very long duration stretches beforehand. So I'd probably stick with something like 10-second stretches and do a number of repetitions. All that means is we need to tailor the duration of your stretch to what your goals are. For some people, if they have very big limitations in ankle mobility, I would rather them improve their ability to move, improve that mobility so they can get into better technical positions, and I'm okay with a little decrease in performance in the short term because we're going to long term have much better improvements in mobility. So we always have to weigh the pros and the cons and understand that the stretch time has to come from the individual needs of the person. Now, that was two. So we did banded joint mobilizations. We then did the stretch on the box. My third favorite stretch for ankle mobility is gonna come with a goblet squat. Now I'm going to use a plate today, about 10 kilos, 22 pounds. You can also use a kettlebell, you could use a dumbbell. But what we're doing is we're sitting into a deep squat and stretching our ankles. The reason I like this stretch so much is it's going to be very movement specific to what we're trying to improve. We're trying to improve ankle mobility so that it allows us to have a better squat pattern, a better clean, a better snatch. So why not stretch in that exact same position? So we're going to get into our squat stance. We're going to squat all the way down. The plate is in front of us, so it's going to allow someone that has big limitations to sit a little bit deeper because it's offsetting your body weight. Now, in this position right here, you're gonna swivel your hips, drive your knee over your toe, and I'm feeling a really good stretch in the back of my calf. Again, if you are feeling a pinch or block sensation in the front of that ankle, you have to do your banded joint mobilizations first and then do this. So again, 10 seconds maybe early on. If I'm just doing this as a warm-up before a training day and I'm looking to maximize my technique but not have any detriments in performance, and I'm going to the other side. Usually my elbow is on top of my knee so I can swivel and really push my knee down, and then back. So over and back. Something like this, I usually do maybe 4 to 5 repetitions for about a 10-second hold on each side before standing up. Now again, just like every single mobility exercise that I show on Squat University, you have to have a check and a recheck, just like we did with the banded joint mobilization before. Go and check that 5-inch test and try your deep squat again. Get your stance. Squat all the way down. Do you feel any different? Does it feel like you have a little bit better ability to squat deeper, keep your chest more upright? If that's your goal, because remember, knee over toe allows more chest upright position, which is helpful if your goal is a clean, is a snatch, a front squat. If we need this positioning, we need ankle mobility. So always check and see if the mobility work that you did was efficient and effective at eliciting the improvements that you're wanting in movement. So there you go. Those are my top 3 ankle mobility exercises. I hope you guys liked today's video. Again, if you're looking for the type of band that I'm using on the mobilizations, check out the description in the video. And if there's anything else that you guys want to learn about in next week's video, please let me know in the comment section below. Until next week, guys, happy squatting.
They say that energy flows where attention goes, so I pay no mind. Why waste my time with all these negative cats scratching? So caught up in their egos, these people have lost.